Are agents actually putting you out of the job, or are they just taking your job and doing that and you move one layer up the abstraction ladder? I think the latter is what actually is happening, and I'm excited to talk with you about this. This is Better with Kent, where we learn durable skills together so that we can continue to make the most out of the AI coding agents and just the building of products that we have available to us now. So I posted this recently. This is something I've just been thinking about a lot. I said the things I'm having agents do for me today are the things I was doing myself months ago. I expect this trend to continue into the future. What I'm doing myself today, my agents will do for me in the future. I just keep finding new and higher leverage things for me to do. So I think that this has been true for ever. And actually, just yesterday, at the time of this recording, I released the episode of Become an Epic Product Engineer with Uncle Bob, who has been doing software for 60 years. He's just had so much experience in designing systems and probably wrote a book that you probably have read. And so just phenomenal engineer over the years. And something he observed is that we just continue to do this. We go up another layer of abstraction from assembly, and now we've got Fortran and COBOL, and we continue until we have these modern languages that we are working with. And now ultimately, as Uncle Bob observed, now we're not even dealing with the syntax, but we are still working with the system. And so when we're talking about durable skills, we do want to think about projecting this out into the future. What does this actually look like? I'm actually recording this just after the announcement of Claude Opus 5, which is Fable 5 level intelligence for half the price. And so we just continue to receive all of these new innovations around the way that coding agents work. And so if we were to take this and just say, okay, so this is the starting point in time, and here we've got C and C++, and maybe before that Fortran and COBOL and all of that. We're working at this layer of abstraction. Well, now we're going to continue to move in this direction where we're just going up further layers of abstraction. So this would be, now we've got a point in time where we're doing higher level programs like Java and .NET or C# and etc. And we continue going up the stack until we've got, okay, now we're not even having to worry about memory management or anything like that. This is going to be our JavaScript, and we've got Perl and Python and all of these. We continue to go until ultimately we are left with nothing but natural language. Natural language. And this is step by step. The real question is, how far does this line actually go? And are we going in this direction maybe where it just kind of maxes out, and now I don't know, maybe this is where we're talking about loops and graphs and whatever else is hot and whatever. But I think that projecting out into that future a little bit can be really helpful. So my question is, what is it that you are doing now? We can't necessarily predict out way into the future, but what are you doing right now, and how can you get your agent to do that for you? And that's the next couple of weeks or months for you is figuring out, okay, what is the busy thing that I'm doing currently that is something that I could automate. Now, there are some things that you're going to struggle with a little bit when it comes to taste and judgment, and maybe some of the review stuff on the system design and architecture. But maybe there are things that are high leverage that you can have agents do for you that will make doing those things easier. So here's an example that I recently have kind of started to encapsulate into a reusable skill. I was at the theme park with my family, and I had an idea of something that I wanted to do. And of course, I'm spending time with my kids and everything. But every now and then, you got a second that you can just, speak into your phone and tell it to do a thing. And so I had one of those moments, and I decided, hey, you know what? It'd be really great if we could improve the architecture around this particular thing. I had a couple ideas. And so I talked to one agent, Fable 5. Now maybe I would use Opus 5. It'd be a lot cheaper. But I said, hey, could you do a health assessment? And here are a couple things I'm thinking about. And then I thought, those things, each one of those kind of deserves its own environment to operate inside of. So if we're talking about each one of these agents, you've got an agent that can be separated or can orchestrate several sub-agents. So if I've got, I actually already do have a skill that's going to take a, here's the general agent right here, and this agent is going to be my orchestrator, and I've got an orchestrator skill that tells that agent how to manage these, and like, you're not the implementer, you're going to build out the primitives, and then you're going to hand off all of these to these sub-agents. And that's really useful for a change that you're going to make that's going to affect a lot of different files, and they're not going to overlap or anything. But the problem with this is that I found myself sometimes having a whole bunch of different things that maybe they will interact in some ways, or maybe they're just like so completely different that they don't, like, it doesn't make any sense for them all to be running on the same machine. And so what I decided to do was I said, hey, you know what, you can be an orchestrator of orchestrators. And so here we could have a whole bunch of these, and one agent, this could be my conductor agent. And this agent is going to be in charge of managing all of these other orchestrators. And it's possible, and like very often, I will end up with an agent that is not actually orchestrating. It's just, a typical agent doing its own thing. And that's totally fine. And so our conductor now is responsible for orchestrating these other agents, and each one of these lives in its own environment. So that's what I'm showing here in this post, is that, hey, we've got this code-based health assessment orchestrator, but we call it a conductor to keep the terms different. Actually, it was Fable was the one that suggested conductor for this. But yeah, then it spawned these all five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these sub-agents, or actually completely separate cursor cloud agents. So each one of these has its own environment. They're not going to step on each other's toes. They may have to rebase depending on what order they get merged in, and that's totally fine. But they are in a separate environment. They can do whatever they want to. And then this orchestrator, this conductor, is going to manage bringing them all in and reviewing their code and all of that. So that's what I was doing before. And what it used to be was, this was Kent, and Kent is managing all of these agents. And instead, now it's the conductor agent, which is going to manage all of these things. Agnet, there we go. And now I can take a step even further up the abstraction level. And so that is kind of my challenge to you today, is look for ways that you can kind of automate or let the agent do the things that you're doing. Now, of course, I'm the one leading this conductor, and so maybe that's where we get into the loops, and you've got an agent that is just always running and improving the code base and starting its own conductors or whatever. Maybe that's where we're going to get into. Another area is in review. So this is a PR. I literally was created 9 minutes ago, and I just merged it. But I've got another video about the system recap skill that I've put together. And so this PR in particular, my agent was like, hey, this is a little bit more risky. It said medium risk, but I'm going to say this is a little bit more risky than the other things. And so I'm not going to merge it for you. I need you to review this yourself. And so then I can review this much more quickly by looking at the system map and the primitives that are involved, and the before and after, like migrations are things that I like to look at a lot, and invariants are useful. And so by taking what used to be a task that I had to do, which is review big long diffs, and simplifying it into something that I can review much easier, and still with the same level of granularity or necessity, that helps an immense amount. And so that's what your goal should be, is if you're like still doing work by hand that your agents can actually do for you, then you're just kind of sitting around on this timeline of, like, I don't know, you're just sitting right here. But like the agents are moving up, we should be moving up the stack of abstraction and finding how much leverage we can get out of these agents. It's really powerful, and definitely that's what you should be thinking about. So figure out what the next thing that your agent can do for you, and try to get the agent to do that, and then you can find out what is next for you on that next level of abstraction. And I know that this can actually be a little bit scary because you're thinking, well, what could there be left for me? Like eventually, don't we top out? And I think, as I have found, there continues to be next higher leverage things that I can do to make more use out of what I am trying to accomplish in the world. So as I get to that next layer of abstraction, okay, now there's another thing that can make me even more productive. And who knows how far we get to like on this slope of layers of abstraction. But we never could have guessed the layer of abstraction we are now, like 3 years ago. I don't think that I feel very confident guessing where we're going to be at 3 years from now. And so this week, I want you to list 3 things that you do by hand yourself, or like if you're just loading context into an agent manually, that counts as a thing that you are doing by hand. And I want you to hand off one of those at least, even if it's a really like messy implementation of that handoff, just to figure out how you can get a higher leverage thing that frees up. So now you don't have to do that anymore. What can you do with that now? So that is what I would encourage you to do. And honestly, I want you to be okay with this. This is something that Uncle Bob said on this episode. He said, I think we need to be okay with walking away from the code. And I completely agree with that. As much as I love to code, there are such higher leverage things that I can do. So don't mourn that old layer of abstraction. Just drive the agents to get you to that next layer of abstraction and have more leverage. And so that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching Better with Kent, where we learn durable skills together to get better together. I hope that you really enjoyed this one, and if you would please share it with other people. The algorithm doesn't just naturally share it with people necessarily, so it helps a lot if you share this with other people you think might enjoy it. And of course, like and comment and subscribe. I do read all of the comments below, so leave your thoughts below there. And with all of that, I just want to say thank you so much for getting better with me.